Hopefully you are live. Okay. Hello and welcome, Success Grid Nation, to this episode of the Success Grid podcast. This is your host, Hussein Talib. And in this episode, I have with me Keigan Carthy to talk about how to run advertising like a pro and creative testing and its importance in advertising and business growth. So, Keigan Carthy is the founder of Vision Management, a digital marketing firm specializing in content solution for B2B. He has generated over 50 million impressions and over six figures in revenue for his clients. His clients have included Invisible People, Jake Paul, and Habitat for Humanity, down to local businesses like mechanics and chiropractors. This is a wide range of businesses. Uh, Lovely to have you on the show. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome to have you. So, first of all, because this is the Success Secret podcast, I want you to give me what do you think success is? And what you see or hear other people assume success is.
What I think success is, it can vary very differently between business and personal. For me, success is just happy, healthy, good relationships on the personal side. And business, it's kind of that's varies from person to person. So for me, I'm very young still. I'm 22 years old, and I have very ambitious goals. So for me, I'm not particularly satisfied with until I meet those. But I am very successful looking in. So overall, I think success is kind of the eye of the beholder. Kind of depends person to person.
Mm. You are very young and you're running your agency that helping B2B businesses with their basically advertising and content creation and social media. So first of all, how do you see social media and the quick, let's say, the quick transformation of platforms and the idea behind short video content and long video content?
It's the relationship. It's short video content and short form. That's an easy and cheap way to get in front of an audience, whether that's warm, cold, whether you're using organic or paid. It's cheap and easy to do. But at the end of the day, it's might not build a lasting and trusting audience and build a relationship with them. Obviously, there's certain things that you can do within that, but it's like I said, it's a cheap and easy way to get in front of people. In regards to long form video, I'm going to talk specifically on YouTube. That's kind of where it's more or less harder to grow a channel. But if say, let's say you have 5,000 subscribers as an example, more often than not, those people are going to be just wanting to hear from you and you only. Where it's kind of the difference between short and long form video, to sum it up, is short video, easy to get in front of people quickly, but not great for building a relationship and an audience. Long form video is the complete opposite.
Mm. New perspective into things. This is the a new one. I hear someone talking about shorter or long form content in this way. Yeah. So now, do you think or believe, from what I understand, do you think that is the best way to promote a business, whether it's organic or and as you do advertising, is using videos? So do you think other ways are obsolete or they complement video and video is the primary thing that it should be for any business?
I think that it depends. If you're looking for video to promote a business, more often than not, the best thing you can do if you're a founder-led brand, which is you're usually kind of under 50 employees, video should be number one because nobody cares about vision management at the end of the day, my agency. So if I'm running just like banner ads or static text ads and just doing company branding, nobody cares about that. They're going to care more about me. So if I'm giving away value in my ads or whatever my process and strategy looks like, they're going to be more open to converting to a client and going through that funnel. So I think it can be complementary, but if you're a founder-led brand, you need to be it needs to be your face.
Mm. So do you think this is the only way to stand out? Like we know a lot of content now on social media, on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, you name it, Facebook, Instagram, a lot of these. So is this one of the reasons that you can stand out, or how can anyone stand out from other people in their content, like the way they say things, the way they have the animations? What exactly can one stand out? The more consistent to post on platforms.
So for people to stand out, I mean, the markets that we're all in, it's at the end of the day, it's saturated. It's not a blue ocean, right? And so people need to stand out, like you're saying. But the differentiator is the people it's themselves. So for me, the way that I stand out is I'm getting on these podcasts like that we're doing. I'm hosting people. I'm building relationships that way. That's my advice of how you can stand out is just if you're going to be posting content, obviously you need to post consistently, but co-created content because everything's flooded now with me just talking to my phone, saying, hey, buy this, buy this, buy this. Sit down with real people, have authentic and genuine conversations, and that's how you can stand out.
Yeah, I like that concept. So, generally, me personally, when I look at video content, specifically when a good video performs well, right, you
Mm-hmm.
see that there are a lot of people doing the same thing, basically the same information in that video. And I see a lot of videos that are reaction videos with that are reaction to other video. And the funny thing is when I see a third tier of that when someone reacting to the reaction of that reaction video. So do you know what I mean?
I,
But eventually, as you were talking here about, it is the person behind the camera, eventually the
mm,
people that are connecting with, whether they are heard that news before or not, or watched that type of information before or not, because they are connected to that person, they know their channel, they know where they are located online, they go and see what they have to say, either even though that most sometimes it is basically the same thing that's being said over and over again. So that's very important.
mm-hmm.
Yes.
100%. I agree with you.
Mhm. So now, in regards to that, being video is very important, right? So
Mhm.
how do you advise people that you work with on or brands, okay, to leverage video in their businesses? How would you tell them to create their videos around? Is it about their story? Is it about their business story? Is it about the product or services that they are providing? What exactly, let's say, the framework or the pinpoints or the key takeaways to focus on their video, whether it's an organic or it would be like an ad.
So I'll talk about advertising on this to start. Everything starts with a goal. So you have to understand like what are you trying to achieve? That's where we start for any framework. So is it obviously at the end of the day, it's more sales, but are we promoting our product and service? Are we giving away value? Kind of what does that look like? One of my favorite strategies that I'm using right now for myself, basically all it is, it's just a handful of top of funnel videos where I'm just giving away a ton of values, calling out my ideal client's pain point, and then just having them go through a nurture sequence using Facebook and Meta's retargeting tools. Um, but again, it's the framework start with a goal. So if we have a goal of more sales, then we have the typical top, middle, and bottom of the funnel. So top of funnel is just going to be calling out your ideal client, being like, this is how we can take you from X to Y to Z. And then the middle of the funnel, that's going to be where we're giving away a ton of value. So if I'm a chiropractor, as an example, and people are dealing with back pain, middle of funnel is going to be like, hey, these are some exercises that you can do at home yourself in order to get rid of your back pain. And then the bottom of the funnel will be like the typical, hey, this is my free consultation. This is where you can find me. This is where you can work with me, etc. So basically, everybody has the same frameworks, but it goes back to the idea that I said, where it's like it's the person behind the camera that differentiates.
Mm. Yeah, that's very important nowadays. This is the only differentiator now it's coming because it's about trust within the human being that you are seeing or hearing or interacting with. So now,
100%.
yeah, so like you mentioned, this kind of a funnel. So do you always, for example, after you creating that, do you always lead people, in your opinion, to like freebies and also the ads that are optimized? Are they like basically what type of call to actions that would have? Is it in the end of the video? Is it in the middle or at the beginning of the video? And in the same video, will there be any text telling them what to do in the video as a text? Do you think that's a good idea?
So I'll start with the freebie side that you led with. I 100% you have to have some sort of freebie, whether that's like a free training, free YouTube videos, like giving away free value, something like that. You have to give to get. People don't want to pay for information, they want to pay for implementation. That's my philosophy and everything. So yes, give away as much free shit as you can all the time. In regards to the call to action, and I'll go back to the funnel that I was saying for myself. So in the top of funnel videos, we're calling out the ideal client, their pain points, etc. And for me, it's just follow me for more. That's it. I want people following me so that they're getting hit with more and more of my ads using the retargeting. So same thing with the middle of the funnel. It's kind of like follow me for more, just so that they're constantly showing my face, because they're constantly seeing my face all the time. Bottom of the funnel, it's when it's a little bit different. That's when it's like, okay, go to book a free call with me, download an ebook, something along those lines.
Mhm. Yeah. So now, from you working on with your clients, what do you think
Mhm.
are some of the things that they had issues with that they came to you and found you to solve them, to solve these issues for them?
Number one, a lot of people are scared of advertising. That's first and foremost because they feel like they're lighting money on fire because they've tried it themselves before. They ran one or two campaigns and then blamed Facebook or TikTok or Google, whoever. It's Google's fault that I'm not getting leads, not mine. But they wanted somebody where they could at least get some guidance. And it's going back to that thing where it's like you have to give to get. So in my content and stuff like we're doing now, getting a podcast, giving away a ton of free value. So it's like, okay, there's actionable items that they can take into their business. They try that, see a little bit of success, they scale, and then it's like, okay, I need to outsource this or push this off to somebody rather than bringing it in house. I'm too busy, and then that's when they bring me on. So number one thing issue is they blame Facebook or TikTok, come to my content or whatever. They find me, take away actionable items, then eventually it'll come back.
Mm. So, from what you have seen, for example, what they are doing personally themselves and compared what you are doing for them in your business. So, what is the most important thing or metric, let's say, after the video itself being a good video and providing value as we are talking about here? Let's assume that the
Mhm.
video is great, the best video there is. Is there a chance for it to fail for as an ad?
Absolutely. Like, I mean, I can't, I've never met a marketer that can look at a set of videos and tell me which one's going to win. If, if I did, I would hire them on the spot. It's in marketing, like we're actively looking to fail and we want to fail fast so we can figure out what's working. So it goes kind of into the creative testing side where it's like another issue that people have is they create 1 to 3 videos, throw a bunch of money at it, doesn't work. Well, no shit. We test 15 to 20 different creatives, everything from the editing, the hook, the body, like the call to action. We're testing everything under the sun so that we can figure out what works and then put some real money behind it.
Cool. So, in regards to, for example, video ads, do you think because it's a video, do you think it's important to have some certain or amount of copy, or do you make the, for example, the copy short, so the focus would be on the video itself, or also do you like people to maybe read what's copy integrated with the video itself?
We keep the copies short. It's just the basic call to action, like follow me for more, because all the information is in the video.
Cool. That's like as we were talking here about a lot, like the attention span of human beings nowadays is like shorter than a goldfish. So so yeah, you need to do that. That's very important. Exactly. So now, in regards to platforms, like we're talking about video, what do you think? You talked about Google and TikTok, and we have these platforms. What do you think is the best platform to start with, or do you think they are all the same?
I think the best platform to start with, if nobody's ever ran advertising before, you need to master Facebook and Instagram first. That's the best platform, in my opinion. They have the smartest algorithm. master that first and then transition into TikTok, Google, Pinterest, whatever else. But me personally, I'm still mastering TikTok and Facebook and Instagram.
Mm.
It's just one of those things we're constantly trying to get better and better, which is why we more or less stay away from the TikTok and Google side. We have a little bit have our toes in the water on that side, but big proponent of practice what you preach. But going back, master Facebook and Instagram first.
Why do you think is that? Don't you think that YouTube is king of video here? For in saying we're talking about video.
If for video, like going back to a previous conversation or previous point, YouTube is great for long form, but if
Mm.
we're speaking on strictly lead generation through video, Facebook and Instagram are king. It is what it is. That's just the platform is so smart. I mean, I can run a campaign for myself, set it up so I'm only targeting people in North America, and the algorithm will start to auto optimize for people who are going to watch my content or more likely to buy just from leaving the targeting broad. Obviously, you have to set your conversion rates accordingly, but it's honestly pretty easy to do once you understand. Let the algorithm do its thing. It's a lot smarter than us.
Mm. Okay, so this question I want to ask about. So I heard from someone suggesting this idea, like because we
Mhm.
know that cost of impressions or cost of clicks for ads, for example, in the US are different from different countries in the world, for example, India or whatever it is. So what they do is, for example, is like to get the more engagement you get or likes or comments on a video, the cheaper I think the click will get, right? This is what I assume, right? So what they do is they run the ads in cheaper countries, right? So get
Okay.
more clicks and likes, and they then drive and also target audience in different countries. So do you think this strategy is good and still works today?
Honestly, I can't speak on that because I don't really have any experience with it. But if we're talking about like expensive CPMs and cost per impressions,
Mm,
this is just how it is. It's getting more expensive.
mm,
But the importance of it throughout any ad is that you have dialed in messaging throughout every single video or just ad in general. So if you're in the US or Canada, the CPMs are astronomically high. But the way that you get around that and reach the people that you want is by dialing in your messaging, calling out your ideal client and their pain points every single time.
yeah. So what would you say, for example, in general, not
Mhm.
specifying certain business, but what would you say is the best uh, conversion or an ideal conversion for a typical business?
Obviously, sales is what we want at the end of the day. But there's a ton of different strategies that you can do in setting a conversion on the actual ads platform. There's a campaign that I've ran for myself and for some clients where we create a top of funnel magnet ad, we'll say,
Mm,
where basically we're going to throw a ton of ad spend behind that. It's what I went to calling out your ideal clients' pain points, et cetera, et cetera. And then we create 9 to 10 different videos underneath. And basically, those videos are kind of like the middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel stuff. Set the conversion event for those 9 to 10 videos I was just talking about to people that have watched 10 seconds of your magnet ad. And then those other videos only get shown to people and your ideal client who watched that initial video.
yeah. So that now, because now, as we were talking about earlier about the span of us, like we want everything yesterday, and our attention span is short. So how many do you
Mhm.
think, from your experience, if you have that info, how many touches or how many basically ads you see in the analytics, for example, how many
Mhm.
videos usually a person sees until they, for example, click or have a conversion or as a lead or as a sale?
So if we're going to talk about the strategy I just talked about, it's about a week to 2 weeks till people sign up for like the freebie, book a call, something like that. But the reason for that, why it's shortened rather than like that 30-day kind of sales cycle that we see with ads, is because we're setting the frequency cap in the actual platform so that those people are seeing you twice a day. So
Mm.
that you're constantly in front of them, be like, God, like this guy won't leave me alone, that sort of thing. So about a week to 2 weeks. Obviously, it's super dependent on what you're offering, but as a general statement, that's kind of what we see.
Cool. So, in your opinion, on what you're doing is having the this repetitive ad showing like at least 2 times a day for a singular person is a good idea. so that they would get to see your face at least, or hear you or watch your video. So they will get a little bit adventure at the end of it, like, yeah, I'm gonna to watch this video. So that's very important. Do you think, have you tried or tested with like more than two?
More than two, the costs become pretty expensive.
Mm,
So it's kind of depending on the budget. It's also a little bit of psychology plays into it because
mm,
I myself am guilty. I find myself just scrolling endlessly and endlessly, like if I'm laying in bed or something like that. And if I see the same person a couple of times and I'm not looking to be sold, and I see them 4 or 5 times in a day, I'm just going to keep swiping past, even though they might help me. So two videos a day is kind of the sweet spot.
good. So now, in regards to Facebook, do you think that having like this person that you are trying to target is the best way to have Facebook actually run multiple ads, like you mentioned, having multiple creatives? So what do you
Mhm.
recommend? How many creatives in general for a single campaign would be an ideal one?
I mean, at least 10,
Mm,
bare minimum 10. Like we're kind of past the days of just like a single video and asking for a sale right away. It's kind of past the days of that because people it's just how consumers are at this point. But going back to what I said, I've never met a marketer who can tell me what's going to work out of a batch of creatives. So need to be testing every single thing. Like, and then once we know what works, then we can create more videos like that and then scale it further.
mm, definitely. When you know what is working, you can like double down on it and stick with it until it's maybe working no more, I guess. But
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah, that could take some time for it. So now, advising your clients, how would you tell them, like on Facebook groups, what is the budget, for example? Because this is the general question. Like I used to hear, like
Mhm.
$5 a day is enough on Facebook. So is that the case still?
Obviously, we always want to spend more because we're going to reach more people. I'm like we have clients that are on shoestring budgets that are $1,000 a month for ad spend, and like we you can test for as little as $1 a day. Not going to reach as many people, but it's really dependent on your budget and what you're comfortable with spending. More
Mm,
often than not, people will be in shoestring budgets. Then they'll see like a 2 or 3x return on that, and then they'll start investing more and more and more, and it kind of snowballs from there. But for anybody watching, if you're scared of running ads or whatever, try it out yourself. You can use as little as $1 a day, and then you can start to see what works.
mm. Well, that's it. Can you can start with dollar a day. It won't get you, as you mentioned, that much impressions. So
Exactly.
it's gonna take at least maybe 30 days to start seeing some results, or maybe what are on the back end of the analytics of the for the ad or the ads. So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. The more you can spend, the quicker. This is the only thing that we can is good about ads. It's once it's good and it's great and it's hitting, you can scale it quickly and fast, and the results that coming and the sales, you can scale it even faster. That's what's good about ads.
100%.
Yeah. So, Keegan, can you tell us something that is important for people who are trying to do ads themselves, or are looking for people to help them out?
For people trying to do ads themselves, you need to set the expectation that it's probably not going to work on the first try or even within the first 10 tries. Goes back to what I said is we want to fail as quickly as possible so that we can figure out what works. And also just test, 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 test. That is the name of the game in any marketing. And for people looking to have somebody help them out, there's a stigma around digital marketing agencies, especially with younger people like me. And it's a fair stigma where it's like a lot of people will step over their mother for $1,000 a month retainer. And then you see them flexing Lamborghinis and Rolexes and whatever else on their social media. My advice, if you're looking for somebody to help you out, take a look at the founder, take a look at their content, Google them, etc. See if they're actually living up to what they're saying to you on the call for the sales process, etc.
Hmm. Definitely. Well, awesome, Keegan. So, for people they want to learn more about you, and if they're looking for someone to help them, with their ads, where can they get in touch with you?
Just search Keigan Carthy on any of the social media platforms. Send me a DM on any of them. You can Google me too. I have a website, company website that'll show up on the keyword when you search for me, so you can find me just about anywhere.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Keigan Carthy, for being today with me on this episode of the Success Secret podcast.